Have you seen such pictures of videos of such machines, big machines? Just imagine in the olden times, how was agriculture done generally? Do you find any human beings there? Who is producing these goods then? Machines. 1913 nana. The same activity will now be done by whom? Machines. Even these human beings are replaced now. Robots are doing all these processes. Just imagine the amount of goods that can be produced in this fashion. Industrial revolution. Now if you have to understand this term, you'll have to understand two terms first of all. One is what do you mean by industry, and then what do you mean by a revolution. But I've seen spinning wheel చూసే ఉంటాం అందరం. చూసిన గాంధీ తాత చేస్తాడు కదా, కూర్చోరు ఇట్లానే. What is happening? He is bringing this kind of a raw material into too much of time waste for the merchant. He has to come, he has to give, and again wait. Too much of time. The cost of production is also high. Topic is industrial revolution. Before I go into the topic, we will discuss something very general topics about this. Industrial revolution started in which country? Britain. England lo start ayindi. Eppudu 1760s, 1750s, that was the time. Did it spread across the world eventually? Even in India, are we to some extent enjoying the benefits of industrial revolution? Yes or no? Can I say the essence of industrial revolution lies in this? Yes or no? Essence anta dantlo one single word lo undana. If you have seen it properly. Do we all use a lot of products, goods and services every day in our life? Vadutunnama? Just imagine, in what quantity are these goods being produced? Is it huge number of goods that are being produced? Is it really possible to produce so many goods by hands? Manpower? Not really possible. So essentially everything, we are all enjoying the benefits of machines, but we really don't realize all these things. Kane man chuttupakala every day whatever things we are using, all of these things are being produced by machines only. You don't expect things are now being produced by hands to you people, right? Anni nu edi vadutunnavo, everything. Is this a digital board produced manually or by machines? Your mobile phones, your clothes that you're using, everything essentially is coming from the machines only. Okay, before I go there, I'll just show you some pictures so that you people might appreciate. If anyone has seen any pictures there, you people don't have that good habit, right? Most probably a few of pictures I'll show you guys. You might have seen this in some YouTube videos. Akkadikada meer evana chusuntaru. Have you seen such pictures of videos of such machines, big machines? Just imagine in the olden times, how was agriculture done generally? Before the invention of all these machines. చూస్తున్నారు ఎట్లున్నాయి అవి? ఎట్లా చేసేవాళ్ళనా? How people used to do agriculture? 2 bullocks వేస్తారు, ఒక plow వేస్తాం. That is how we do. Yes please. ఇది చూస్తున్నారా ఇవి? ఇది చూడండి, ఇదేంటి? They are applying fertilizers or pesticides using drones. There have been cases before drones, these people used to use some aircraft. చేసేవాళ్ళు. For example, if you'll see this, చూడది ఎట్లుంది అది. And if you see this one, ఇది ఏది ఉందన్నా, ఇది ఉంది చూసారా ఇది? You know what is happening here? This is a kind of a reaper or harvester. Now you have, just imagine what should be the size of this agricultural field, okay? Now if you have to do the same work manually, you can imagine how much of human force, manpower would be required to clear this field. Em chestunnadu telusa in this photo? If you will see, this is the harvester actually. Now as this machine keeps moving down through that field, it will keep cutting, and actually it will be pumping that cut machine into the adjacent one. And as this gets filled, another one will come. And imagine, in such a big work can be done in a few hours. How many people are required? If you'll see, only 2 people are working there. One guy is the actual driver, and the second guy is the person who is picking up this field. Yes or no? But when you do the same thing in a traditional way, imagine the output and the output in this kind of a situation. Yes please. So story mottam marustundana me modern machinery and all these things. And I want to show you 1 or 2 pictures more. You choose it. Have you seen anything like an assembly line? Most of you might have seen all these things. Idi chudana. It is an assembly line showing you manufacture of cars. Yes, please. Do you find any human beings there? Manushulu leru. Who is producing these goods then? Machines. And most of this activity now is actually done by robots now. As the unfinished product moves along the line, assembly line antam nana, as it keeps moving, at each stage some particular product or some particular part is added to the product, and once that is done, it will move on to the next stage. Again, next stage robots again will go and assemble all these things, and you will see the product essentially goes to the final stage. If I can have some more pictures, chuddam emana. Idanta, this is what you are actually calling as industrial revolution, Anna. You know how people were working in those days. Now, can I say this is picture showing you somewhere around 1913, Anna? The same activity will now be done by whom? Machines. Even these human beings are replaced now. Robots are doing all these processes. Just imagine the amount of goods that can be produced in this fashion. Okay. When you see pictures, nanik inkekko clarity ostundana. Here again, it's an assembly line showing you some humans are there. They're working. Itla untundana idea. But I've seen now, all of you have seen this? Yes, please. Yeah. That is what we are actually going to study about. In this chapter, as I said, I'll really not go and write any of these things. Everything is written there. But 2 headings, I have to write down certain points because I so said it's too much of repetition and a lot of not very finely written. I first want you people to come to one particular heading. I'll start. Before starting, I'm just showing you some points there. You will come to the heading. How did it take place in England? How did it take place in England? Should come to that heading. Maybe 5th or 6th page. 7th page. How did it take place in England? I have written too much of facts over there. Too many things. How to tell you? Nanu okkasari mee hand out ivandi, nenu chepta. Come to page number 9. Last but one para. There I've written some name, John Case flying shuttle. In the next para, you will again have several more machines like spinning jenny, James Hargreaves and Years and spinning mules, water frame. Yes, you're finding all these names, na? These are given only for studying purpose, not for remembering. Don't expect that you should write all these things in the exam. Not at all necessary, nana. Avasarame ledu. And if you come to the next page, ఇంకేదో ఉంటుందిరా చిన్న చెప్తున్నా ఆగండి. మీకు ఐరన్ వస్తుందన్నా, ఐరన్ స్టీల్వి టోటలీ అన్నెసెసరీ అన్న అవన్నీ ఏంటనంటే, బట్ దెన్ యూ షుడ్ నో దట్ దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ థింగ్స్ హ్యావ్ హ్యాపెండ్. 1 second, ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ టెల్ యూ. రే ఎక్కడ రాసినారా ఇవన్నీ? ఓకే, ఐ థింక్ ఐ డిలీటెడ్ దోస్ థింగ్స్. లేదు నాన్న. పేజ్ నెంబర్ 10, last but one para. Page number 10, last but one para. As the steam engine became more and more popular, more and more textiles in the parallel. Again, you will find some names, Nana. Abraham Darby, Henry Court. Are you seeing those names? All of these things are totally unnecessary. What should have actually happened, na? If I would have taken more time to refine this handout, I should have removed all these names. But first time when I was making a draft, I had to write all those details, okay? So don't worry about those details, but then the basic process I will explain to you, okay? Fine. Let us start now. Industrial Revolution. Now, if you have to understand this term, you'll have to understand 2 terms first of all. One is what do you mean by industry, and then what do you mean by a revolution. Okay, first we'll try to understand the term revolution. What is revolution? A big change, yes or no? We all know there is another common word that we keep using, evolution. Evolution also is talking about some change. If you're saying that something is evolving, are you meaning that something is changing? Yes, please. If something is not changing at all, will you say, will you use the word evolving? No, please. So evolution, and if you just add one letter to it, revolution. So can I say evolution as well as the word revolution, both are talking about some kind of change. But can I say evolution will be a more slow change? Yes, please. Whereas revolution, you're talking about something slightly sudden, comparatively. But then the correct way to define the word revolution will be, it's nothing but a kind of a very, very big change, a major change that has happened. Okay. And commonly, this word we use for sun is there, earth is revolving around it. You want to know? Revolution. Yes, please. So when earth finishes one revolution, can I say old year has gone and a new year is coming? Can I say it is also talking about some change only, essentially? Yes. One revolution is completed, which means the old year has gone, new year has started. So revolution is essentially talking about some kind of a change that should be very, very big change. And this change should be actually, I do not know if I've used these words. Did I write that? Irreversible change, and it should be a permanent change. And that change should impact not one or two aspects of life, it should impact all aspects of life. Everything must change. Only then you will call that change as revolution. Otherwise, there are so many changes which are small changes, minor changes, which you can actually reverse them back and which they don't impact all the aspects. Only those changes which are very, very permanent, irreversible, and impacting all aspects of life, only such changes can be called as a revolution as such. Okay. Now when I'm saying it is an industrial revolution, which means it is a change where? In industry. Now for that you should understand the term what? Industry. Now again, when you come to your economy subject, they will teach you again in depth. In any economy, we divide economy into how many sectors? 3 sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is the what? The agriculture. Yes, please. Secondary, can I say this is what you are essentially calling as industry? Yes or no? And then the third one is the services sector. Are these people involved in tertiary sector producing any goods? Right now I am in which sector? I am working in which sector? I am working in a tertiary sector. I am not producing goods, I am providing services. Okay. So here we will not concentrate here. Now what is the difference between primary and secondary sector? Now can I say in agriculture these are the first things that humans produce actually. Yes, and that is from here nature gives you some kind of raw materials. Yes, and once you get those raw materials, can these raw materials be further processed into some other goods? Yes, please. And in fact, I hope people should already have read that. It's clearly written there what? The second stage, once that product you get that basic product from nature, and if you take it for further processing, that will be called as industry. Yes, please. The point is, what the heading if you see there, industrial revolution. So we are saying a big change where has come in the secondary sector. If the secondary sector changes, will it have some impact on primary and tertiary sectors also? Naturally, everything is going to change. Entire economy will change. Let us now say, what do we really mean by industrial revolution as such? You think and tell me, even before industrial revolution started, did human beings on earth produce some goods or no? Yes, even before IR, we were producing goods. So when you're saying that IR is a major change in industry, so can I say that what has changed is the way we have been producing these goods has changed? Yes or no? Please think and tell me. I'll understand how many people have read. How would you define IR then? A change in way of producing goods in which manpower is replaced by machine power. And in the second page or somewhere, I should have written one word, that machine agent rasana. And I also should have used this word, mechanization of production process. That is, before industrial revolution also humans were producing goods, but we were doing it mainly with manpower. But now the main change is, instead of manpower you will use machine powers. So that same word same sentence can be simply summarized as mechanization of production process. What do you mean by mechanization? And applying machines to do the same process. Okay. And in your ancient Indian, if you remember, for those people who attended that, we had some ages like this: Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, etc. and all these things. Now with the coming up of machines, it seems humanity is entering into a new stage of evolution that is called as machine age. How machines are going to make a change, that is what we are to see in this chapter. Okay. There's one more point I need to discuss when I talk about industrial revolution, the definition itself. You have simply said that. Can I say, if you have replaced manpower with machine power in the process of producing goods, is it an economic, political, social change, or very correctly speaking, it's a technological change? Think and tell me. Replacing replacing manpower with machines in the process of producing goods, is it a social change? Is it a social change or is it a technological change? Manpower is being replaced by machines. What humans were doing with small tools and all, now what I did, I put a big machine in that process. Is it a social change? Social change, are they? Or is it mainly technological change? Mainly technological change, but this change will also bring changes in social, economic, political aspects. Annitlo changes iskostayi, but actually it is what? A technological change. I'll show you that one or two paragraphs which you need to write in the examination. In the heading, what industrial revolution, what is industrial revolution? Come to the last but third para, maybe second or third para. So the industrial revolution can be defined and untadi. Yes, please. That is the para which is having that entire the essence of it. So industrial revolution can be defined as the change in the method of producing goods where manpower is replaced by machine power. In short, IR can be described as the process of mechanization of production of goods, and it is said to have launched humanity into what is called as the machine age. However, this technological change led to changes in all other aspects of life, social, economic, political aspects. So in a broader sense, the term IR encompasses all the sweeping changes brought about in social, economic and political spheres of life that came as a result of technological change brought by introduction of machines. So that entire paragraph is mottam important. Before that, I discussed what is revolution, I discussed what is industry. Do you think they will ask these questions in exam? No, please. But if there is a question on industrial revolution, don't you think that para can be taken as a first introductory para directly? Endukante I told you, the handout is a bit bulky. Here and there I will show you where the essence lies anese men chupistanu. Okay, now that is the definition of IR. But then obviously before we can understand what changes came after IR, we should first understand the process, how people were producing goods before industrial revolution. I think that is the next heading. Chudandi emi ichchana, pre-industrial mode of production, and I've given you several names in the bracket. Cottage industry cheppale, putting out system, domestic system. Did I write handicraft industry? Add that word also. These industries can also be called as handicraft industry. Telugulo emantaru? Cheneta parishrama. Vinnara? Have you heard about khadi and village industries? Those were the how we should actually produce goods. Handicraft industry. The word itself is having handy. That is mainly you're using through hand power. You are doing simple tools and all these things. Okay. Now, because obviously industrial revolution started in Europe, we will see what was the pre-industrial mode of production in Europe. What was really happening there is, I am taking the case of a textile industry. Because can I say textile industry is the first industry where this machines were applied? Okay, let us see how textiles were being produced at that time. What used to happen? Merchants from cities. Did you read all these things, please? City merchants, they get the raw materials from outside. They will buy raw materials, and where will they take these raw materials to? They will go take these raw materials to the villages, and in villages there will be homes. People are living in their own homes. Do these people have any separate factories where they are going and working in the initial times? No, please. They're all working at home. Even now, if you'll say, we are moving towards the concept of work from home. Can I say this kind of industry was the ancient work from home style? Yes or no? Let us see what is happening now. Before I go forward, I should have used these two words there. Spinning and weaving and rasana. Ancient India students, do you remember? Any final textile, before it has to come into a form, it has to go through two basic processes. One is spinning and one is weaving. For those people who have not attended, I'll just explain it very, very briefly. Suppose, Nana, if you want to manufacture a cotton fabric or a textile, a shirt or a pant or a sari, whatever it is. But then, the original raw material is what? Cotton. Don't you see? Cotton is a very fluffy item. Yes or no? Originally. And then it has to take this form of a textile. Don't you think it has to go to multiple processes? And one of the first process in this is actually cotton has seed. That fluffy flower kind of a thing will have a seed. First you remove the seed, and then what you do is you try to make this fluffy item into threads, or sometimes you call it as yarn. And the process by which you make this fluffy item into a thread is called as spinning. Okay, because you might have seen spinning wheel చూసే ఉంటాం అందరం. చూసిన గాంధీ తాత చేస్తాడు కదా, కూర్చోరు ఇట్లానే. What is happening? He is bringing this kind of a raw material into threads, and that process is spinning. And once these threads are come out, then you need to interlock these threads, and that process is called as weaving. Have you seen any time in ఎప్పుడన్నా పిక్చర్స్ లో చూసుంటానా, a person is like somehow, ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, is sitting here and you have in front of that person a big device which has two sets of itla equipment la untundana ade, in which they'll be keep pulling like this. Chusunta atlantive. Now that is a weaving loom, dani hand loom an antar dani. Yes please, have you heard about hand loom antar kadana? So you will see there, this is a hand loom by which you, what do? Weave. Hand loom nana chuse untaru, chudleda, that much we have seen there. చూడలేదా చిన్న, ఇది హ్యాండ్లూమ్ చూడలేదా? రే నన్ను భయపడిస్తారా, ఇది చూడరా, హ్యాండ్లూమ్ ఉందా? ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. నౌ దిస్ ఈస్ ద సెకండ్ స్టేజ్, దట్ ఈస్ వీవింగ్. బట్ ఫస్ట్ ఈస్ దిస్ లేడీ ఆల్రెడీ వర్కింగ్ విత్ అవర్ రెడీమేడ్ థ్రెడ్, అండ్ దట్ థ్రెడ్ వాజ్ మేడ్ బై వాట్ ప్రాసెస్? Spinning was the first process. Once the thread is made, the second stage will start, that is the weaving will start here. Okay, now because you understood those two words, let us go there now. The city merchant is bringing what? Raw material. Is a fluffy cotton. This person will come and he will give it to the villagers. Some of these villagers used to specialize in spinning. Some of them will specialize in spinning. And once that spinning part is done, that is the yarn is ready, thread is ready, what will happen? These people will go and give it to some other families in the same village who are weavers. And once the product is done, what will happen now? Again, don't you think after some time the city merchant has to come again and collect the finished material? Yes or no? Now this is the system how it was. These people were producing textiles before industrial revolution. Think and tell me, what are some problems in this system? Because you read na? Did you read? What are the problems? Time consuming. Too much of time waste for the merchant. He has to come, he has to give, and again wait. Too much of time. Okay, time is high. Next, what about the cost of production? High. Why? Again, every time he's traveling here and there, he has to pay some people and all these things. The cost of production is also high. Another disadvantage is production amount will be less. Why? Do you think that the merchant who is actually bringing the raw material, and once the finished good is ready, this guy will take the finished goods and go and sell the finished goods in the markets again? That is how it is happening, Nana. Naturally, definitely there is a problem in this system, because you are able to produce very few goods, and for that you are taking a lot of time, and the cost of production is also very, very high. Who is enjoying in this system? Think and tell. Who is benefiting in this system? Merchant or worker? Workers, the spinners and these weavers are the ones who are actually benefiting from the system, because is there anyone putting any time targets and torturing them from morning to evening? Do they have any fixed time schedule that they need to work? Nothing. When they take the good raw material from the city merchant, they will simply have that come and collect after a month or so. And every day what you do and all these things is your things. Okay, so which means, can I say the merchant does not have any control over the workers? Yes or no? And workers are in a far better position here, because they don't need to go out from their homes, they can work inside their homes. Now you think and tell me, will particularly women workers, will they feel it more comfortable? Yes, why? Suppose children untaru, na intlo children untaru, and the woman is not leaving the house and going there, she is working inside the house, so care of children will be not a problem. So workers are the ones who are actually going to benefit in this system, but the disadvantages is for the merchants. Now the system is going on since a long time like this only. But something started changing this system. Anyone can think and tell me. That is there in the last para of that. Some changes, one thing started bringing changes in this system. Chepala. See and tell. I think it's in the last parallel untandana. Voyages of discovery and rasuntana kada. What is voyages of discovery? Did we discuss voyages of discovery? The European people started going out of Europe, going in search of new lands. Did these people find new lands in the voyages of discovery? What is the advantage? Will these people get access to more raw materials? So can I say, with the discovery of new lands, the supply of raw material to the European countries has increased a lot? Yes. But now the problem is the prevailing method of producing goods really suitable to handle so much of input of raw materials all of a sudden? No. So don't you think these people will want to undergo make some changes in the production process? Yes, please. And that is what has eventually led to the changes in this production, and that gave rise to what? Invention of machines. And then you will see a big system also came up called as the factory system. Okay.